Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa alihi at-tayyibin at-tahirin. Assalamu alaikum, all my brothers and sisters all over the world. I hope you all be happy in your daily life. This is another session for answering some questions and misgivings concerning Holy Prophet life and Islamic teaching. As you know, I want to ask you a question. How old was al-Mu'minin Aisha when she married with Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, and his family? In your idea, what's the standard age for marrying? When you refer to historic books, you see lots of misgivings and questions from Orientalists about the life of Holy Prophet and his wives. So what's the solution? How we can solve these questions and misgivings concerning the Holy Prophet life and actually about all prophets all over the history and world? You know, the answer of first question, I mean the old and the age of Aisha, al-Mu'minin Aisha, is referring to the historic books. When you refer to history books, exactly, you can actually and definitely find the answer. So, what was the first point? The first point is, when we refer to historic books, we see that the age of al-Mu'minin Aisha, when she married and entered the house of Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, according to lots of historic books, was 6 years old, and in some other books was 9 years old. So, what's the reason of this difference? Why in some historic books we see that the age was 6 years old, and in some other we see that the old was 9 years old? So, you know, the wedding in Islamic life is something different with other weddings. In Islam, we have something which called aqd in Arabic literature. Yes, we can say contract in English literature, but it's not the exact translation. We have aqd in Islam, and then we have wedding day. So aqd is something different from wedding day. In Islamic teachings, a woman, first he made aqd, and then he entered the house of her husband later, after 6 months or after 1 year or later. So in historic books we have that the age of al-Mu'minin Aisha in her aqd was 6 years old, and when she entered the house of Holy Prophet, she was 9 years old. So this is mostly famous among Sunni scholars and among Shia scholars too. So what's the solution? It is possible that we imagine for Holy Prophet, when he was about 54 or 53 years old, he married a girl with 6 or 9 years old. Is it possible, or is it true? You know, for every event in the history, there are some reasons. What was the reason for that marriage? We don't know exactly the reason of marriage of Holy Prophet with al-Mu'minin Aisha. Naturally, our Prophet, peace be upon him, and his family, he had some marriage with some women. But what was the exact reason of every marriage, we don't know exactly. So, but is it true that we imagine al-Mu'minin Aisha was 6 years old or 9 years old? You know, there are some differences in Shia culture and Shia teachings and Sunni teachings. So, inshallah, we refer to both Shia and Sunni scholars' book, and then we can judge better. We refer to some documents which is accepted by both Shia scholars and Sunni scholars. Then we can judge better. So, the first referring is to Sunni scholars' books. You know, at the time of Holy Prophet, there was not any historian. Then historians, they made and they written lots of books about Holy Prophet life. But about the exact days, years, and months, we don't have exact information. Yes, we can find some information, and then we can judge about it better. So, you must imagine that, first, there are lots of enemies for Islam. Bani Umayyah, some of Bani Umayyah, they wanted to increase some information about Holy Prophet, I mean some bad information, to abuse from the tradition and life of Holy Prophet. You must imagine and you must concern about this point. So, we have three kind of traditions about the old and age of al-Mu'minin Aisha. The first kind of tradition narrated by al-Mu'minin Aisha herself. She said that when I married Holy Prophet, in my contract and in my aqd, I was 6 years old, and when I entered the home of Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, and his family, I was 9 years old. So, can we trust 100% on this tradition of al-Mu'minin Aisha? You know, in the view of Sunni scholars, it is true. It is true definitely that you can refer to the traditions of al-Mu'minin Aisha 100%. But as you know, in Shia scholars' view, this is not 100% true. Because as you know, we should refer to the history. We know that there were lots of conflicts and contradictions and maybe some battles among companions of Holy Prophet. For example, there was a battle called Jamal between al-Mu'minin Aisha and Imam Ali, peace be upon him. So, what is the solution? For example, when Imam Ali said something and Aisha said something, and these traditions are in paradox and in contracts of each other, how we can refer? To which one we can refer? So, it means that we have both. Shia scholars said, for example, this one from Imam Ali is true. Sunni scholars are saying, no, this one from Aisha is true. So what's the solution? Yes, we can refer to a tradition which accepted by both. This is the solution. Because we don't want to disrespect and dishonor to any of these scholars from both denominations. So this is our solution. We refer to the accepted one of both. So, if we want to refer to the first kind of this tradition, we refer to traditions of Aisha al-Mu'minin. She said, I was 9 years old. So, how we can judge about these traditions? Shia scholars, they don't accept these traditions. They said, no, this is because it's from Aisha, it's not accepted. So we must refer to another kind of traditions about the age of Aisha al-Mu'minin. I think that this is enough for our first session. Inshallah, in another session, we refer to the other kinds of traditions which accepted or not accepted among scholars, and then we refer to the judgment and the traditions which accepted by both. Inshallah, we'll be in salama and afiyah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.